First of all, I'll tell you about my special guest this week. My special guest is a young lady, my Princess Maria Theresa Erediauwa Ogiogwa. And she's a 24-year-old lady in the diaspora. And we're going to be talking to the youths today to say what matters to them the most. We may have been guessing. We may have been thinking that this is what they need and this is what they need. But today they're going to tell us what they're going to tell us what they need. But before I get, I'll get Maria here. Before I get Maria, I want to say good morning to all my panelists and lovely listeners. Start with Tiko Nikosia, good morning.
Morning to you.
Yes. Esosa, good morning. Josephine, good morning. Osas Sigmenovia, good morning. Musa Midu, good morning. Edwin Igwe and Bankole Omokivi, and good morning to our lovely listeners at home. Now let me get into see what. Now, Princess, I want to. We're glad to have you here because I've been going around trying to find the youth. You're a lady, and we've been talking about women this morning, so I have to be on my best behavior. I need to find this diaspora youth because they're talking about us. What I've heard, I don't know about you, they say Nigerian parents are too strict. They say Nigerian parents, they don't knock on your door. They don't even want you to lock your door. You understand? But we hear all these things, but we don't know whether they give us credit for Nigerian parents being hardworking, role models, the good stuff, But also, we are now wondering ourselves that we are not doing enough because as you're growing up, the children are not interacting. The relationship thread, we're not doing enough to maintain it. But maybe this is just one side. So I wanted to get you here to say, Maria, please can you tell us what matters to the Nigerian diaspora youth the most? Is it maybe it's what we're thinking, or maybe we're totally blindsided to what you're thinking? I'll give you some options and then you carry on. One option, as a youth, Nigerian youth in diaspora, is it visiting Nigeria that matters to you the most? One, is it investing in Nigeria that matters to you the most? Two, or is it getting to know yourselves better so you can have a relationship, marriage and stuff? Or maybe I'm not in any of the options, but amongst these three, which one matters to you the most?
I think personally, out of the options, it would probably be making Nigeria better in terms of just the government itself, and then just there's a lot of like corruption in the country, to be frank, and I think that's what matters to the most to us because I don't know, in 2020 where everyone was like the whole NSAS campaign, I don't know if everyone realized the deep effect it meant to us, and I think they just probably saw it as, oh, the youths are acting out, or like they just don't have anything else to say. I think it's this thing where even as much as we grow older, that our parents continue to look at us as kids, and I don't fault our parents at all for that, but I think it's a thing where they need to start looking at us as, okay, these are actually adults now, the youths, and then they have a right to speak and to talk. And to touch up on your point in the first part when you did say that maybe the Nigerian parents are feeling like they've not done enough, I would say that they have done a lot. Like, they have done so much that I think that is what is causing us to stray away from our roots and stray away from our family background, not have that relationship with them, because it's that type of thing where, okay, sure, you're going to be strict with a Nigerian kid when they're younger, and we do give them the accolades, I'll say, especially when you see sometimes on Twitter and all these threads that, yeah, these parents have actually, brought us up well with, like, correcting us on little things, especially when we see outside of, our culture, and like, obviously, like being abroad, like being in the UK and other countries, you tend to be like understanding that, okay, yeah, our parents did us right. But I think it's the thing where as we start getting older and growing up and start trying to make our own decisions for ourselves, it's going to be a thing where we tend to start, I would say, like, I'll call it like maybe like misbehaving or acting out, but I'll just say it's just us now trying to like break away from that chain of, you know, discipline, because to us, we're no longer kids anymore. To us, we're adults now. Like, we're majority of us. I mean, this is not for people who are probably like 18 or 16 or 17, but majority of people that I would say like in my age range are from 20 and above. And we start thinking of, okay, yes, we're going to start getting married. We're going to start getting, you know, because for us, I think probably in this generation, marriage won't really, plenty of people, I mean, it's a personal choice. For someone like me, I would say I do want to get married, but then other people would say, okay, they want to do other things first, or they may not want to get married at all. And being saying because maybe they've come from families that, you know, maybe marriage didn't work out or things like that. So it depends on the individual in this type of like generation. But I would say that they have had that idea of just being their own person. So whether that's they say they want to get married, or whether that's them not wanting to get married, or if they want to stay in their country, or if they want to leave and go to a new country and start a new life, I would say it's more of like them.
Very interesting conversation. If you were, I need to use the right word, if you were ever sticking, super gluing your child at this moment, untangle, you know, because I'm feeling bad. You heard Maria, what she said. She said they're grown-ups, and whilst they appreciate our love as Nigerian parents, it looks as if we don't know when to let go. These are adults here. Untangle yourself. This conversation is going to carry on. Hold on, I'm getting Maria back. Hi, Maria.
Hi.
Hello, we're back now after the news. Sorry, you were saying, you were making a point here that we Nigerian parents, we don't know how to untangle our children when they get to an age where we need to.
Yeah. I think it's a thing where they need to start like understanding that, yeah, we're becoming adults. We are going to have our own kids. Some of them probably even have their own kids already. And it's a thing where you kind of maybe need to like draw back a bit. But I think as the time keeps going, like parents are understanding that and they're slowly changing towards that. But it's just kind of like, especially for as a woman, and since we're focusing on women as well, you know, it's harder for the women like growing up, because the guys, yes, they can go out and then do other things and then do this, but for the women, we're kind of more sheltered into the house. And it's that thing where, you know, where they would say, oh, sure, go out, get like, you know, they want you to get married, meet someone, get married, but then you're not allowing them to actually go out and meet people. And so it's kind of like a contradiction. And that's just one example of the many few. I think it's just where a thing where if you realize as a parent that you've brought up your kid in the right way, you should just have trust in that and say, okay, you know what, no matter what's going to happen, I know I brought them up and I've taught them how to distinguish between right and wrong. I don't need to worry in that sense. And because, you know, as a Nigerian, you always already pray. And I think a lot of like us Nigerians were very like religious and would say, oh yeah, but God's protecting us. But yet again, there's still a lot of anxiety and worry in a parent. So it's kind of like a contradiction that why are you still worrying if you believe that you know, all of us are human, individuals on our own. And even as much as our parents gave birth to us, we are still going to all, you know, die individually, and, you know, God created us largely. So it's a thing where you just need to go, just have faith and just be like, okay, you know, everything's going to be fine, and not really put that pressure on. But I think that's, yeah.
You've spoken very well. You know, I because we have 2 hours today, may I just ask you that, would you be available for us maybe every Saturday or every other Saturday? We want to know more about, we want to build this relationship, but only if you tell us, you know. So if you have available on Saturday mornings, I can bring you in for 5-10 minutes so you can make us better, you educate us on what we need to do more, you know. Besides that, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, sure. I will be available on Saturday.
You'll be available. Please stay with us, because I'm about to bring in the panelists now. Stay with us till 10 o'clock to chop up the things that you have said, amongst other things. Thank you, Maria. Thank you very much. All right. Well, Tico, this is something for you. something for you to chew on.
I like what she said.
Wow.
She made a lot of sense.
She made a lot of points.
Yeah, you see, when she got to the point where she said parents should learn to trust their children. Because once you have given them that value, giving them that understanding of knowing what is wrong and what is right. There is a saying in the book of Proverbs. They say, train up a child in the way that it should go, and when the child grows up, the child will not
depart from it. Do you feel as I'm surprised that it is investing in Nigeria that matters to them? Were you surprised?
I would say yes.
Hello, Esosa. Please hold on. Josephine is on the other line. Carry on, Josephine.
Yes, I wouldn't use the word I was surprised, because, with the youth, they all stand together. They stand together and they believe in being united as one. So for her to speak up for Nigerian youth, that is really, really great. Because most times you'll find youth who are speaking for themselves here, but she's actually touching them over there as well. She even made mention of the NSAS that took place in 2020.
Yes.
How they felt and how it actually damaged them. That was really, really good for her to speak about. So when we are the right direction is on now, we have to bring more youth to the show so that they can speak up and tell us how they feel.
Yeah.
Because most of them are burning inside. It's not just a case of parents to child now. No.
Sorry, Esosa.
From youth to youth.
Yeah, sorry, Josephine. Let me just. Esosa, did you hear Maria Ogiogwa?
I heard what she said. I heard how we so much
estimate
the youth in this country, thinking that they don't know anything about our culture or what happens in Nigeria. She was very aware. She said, it's not about going to Nigeria, parents taking them there or doing that for them. What is more important is for them to feel that our home country is safe for us to visit, which I think that was brilliant. Yeah. And I think that's exactly what it is, for our youth to feel that the country is welcoming to them. They don't want to be feeling scared. They don't want to feel that youth are not being heard and youth are not listened to.
But she also said that, this is to both of you, she said, we Nigerian parents are guilty of over holding the children back.
Yes. Thinking that the children are children. They don't realize that they are adults.
Josephine, are you there? You see?
Yes.
She mentioned that. She did. She did that. Parents are thinking that the children are children, and they don't realize that the children are adults, and they can actually do their own thing and make their own decision and do. Yes, she did mention that. Yes, that's a part for parents to know as well.
Yes.
And it is good. And like you said now, right direction is here has opened the window for parents to interact and to listen to youth, and for youth to also interact and parents to listen to them.
Yes. I think we go away thinking how we can free them, quicker if that's what they want.
And hear their voice as well, because their voice really does matter.
And make the country welcoming for them, and make the country receptive to them.
Exactly.
I think the country is not receptive to our youth. That's the reason why you see a lot of our youth. Some of them have masters, have one of the best qualifications, but they don't want to go home and work.
No. How do we must find a way to break into our government. Please, maybe it's Tinubu, who knows? Anyone at all, But please stay with us unless you want to add something, because Maria is listening. Please, can you add something to the young lady about? That's why I called both of you. Where do we go from here from a female perspective? We've heard her. We have to go to the house to say, although she didn't put an age, to say, at what age do you feel you've done enough? I haven't heard Maria speak. At what age do you leave your child?
Your child, you never leave your child. You still have to tag along and be part of your child's life. Whatever decision they make, you support them and stuff. But I would say at that age where they get to probably, 18, start winning back and allowing them make some decisions on their own.
Yeah.
But, however, be there to guide them through those decisions. Not just leaving them to say, oh, you're 18 now, you're 8 now, do whatever you like, your decision is yours, that's your life, I've done my bit, you do your bit. No, I don't like talks like that.
Yeah.
Tag along and just make sure you're there to guide them through if they are falling from whatever decision they have made.
Okay, good. Esosa, do you agree to that 18?
I agree. I don't think there's age limit because you will always, even though your child is 150 or 130, but yes, you will guide them. By the time they reach the age of 16, 17, 18, you are gradually allowing their independence. You're gradually letting them make their own decision.
Yeah.
Because that's what I did. By the time they were 16, I can see that their reasoning is beginning to be very mature in the way they problem solve, the way they reason. I gradually withdraw everything, every decision that I was. If their decision was right, I would support them and say, yeah, you're right on that area. I think that's a good idea. You can do that.
Yes.
And I think that's what it is. It just depends on every child. There are children that will need support until they are 50 years. Their decision-making skills is still developing. It depends on the child. But if you feel that your child is capable of making that decision, why not give them their independence and let them make that decision? And then we will learn from their own mistake. That's the key.
Yes, and I think we're trying to prevent that. But
if you're protecting a child from making a mistake, the child is never going to learn.
Yes.
You need to let children make their own mistake so they can learn from it.
I'm more like that 50-year-old child that you need to continue to babysit, let me get other people in here. Thank you very much, Josephine. Thank you, Esosa. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. All right. Bye. Tico, I never want to leave home, man, because I need to find out the next conversation. I need to ask. This time we're talking about children, but what about adults? If you consciously want to remain at home, because it's the best.
These days that you can choose whatever you can still choose to be a child.
You can
go back home.
Musa,
what are you doing here?
Yes.
I'm a child.
Musa, how are you, Musa?
I'm okay.
You heard Maria. I'm getting Edwin into here. I wanted to go back, get what the youths are saying, and then come back, because on the last hour of the show, I'm going to Bankole and Osas Igbinovia. But I wanted you to chime in. You've heard Maria. Are we, Edwin? You're welcome back. You heard Maria Ogiogwa. She said, we parents, let me reiterate what I gathered. If Tico, you can add some summaries. She mentioned some things. First, she said, we parents hang on too long. You don't know that the child is now an adult. You don't let the child go. The child cannot think for themselves. Secondly, we introduce Christianity and we say it's a good day, after we pray, but we don't trust God, or we don't trust God to even protect the child. You understand? Nothing at all. So the children are a bit confused. And finally, she said, what they're interested in is investing in Nigeria getting better. I'm a bit shocked, but I don't know about you, so I want to pass it to you. Musa, you first. What do you think?
She's very correct, 100%. As a parent, she will need to start forgiving, starting from home. When you are a parent, you don't know when you cross that line between child and adulthood.
Yes.
You always foresaw, as opposed to foreseeing a situation that you might not have the answer. But it's a habit, it's a role you've played for so long as a parent. It's not difficult to see the difference between a child and an adult in action. She is very correct. She needs to forgive. Moving on from there, they need to remember to keep in touch with their parents.
Yes. yes. Edwin, you heard that. What do you have to say? Are you, Edwin, don't you want to untangle from your beautiful daughters?
I just the lady was so sweet in our discussion,
Yeah.
and Musa also said that. But it is we are just educating ourselves. For me, because they have their own thing, they have to learn from their experience. Otherwise, if you don't let it go, well, I don't think they will ever make the right choice. So if you keep on holding on to them, where would they live?
Yeah.
So you have to understand the situation. Thank God for this country. At 18, you're an adult. You're able to make decisions for yourself. But before they get to 18, along the way, all you need to do is just to advise them. We're not really looking after them. It is God that protects anybody, whether adult, whether a child or anything. But as the child grows from the home, like Moses said, mind you, this child is an ambassador of the home.
Yes.
Exactly. So there are things we talk about tradition just now. We talk about culture. All those cultures and traditions, it is imbibed in the child. The child sees the parent, and they learn from that, and they know what it means. So let me just quickly a bit digress. I'm a teacher. There are some situations in school when you say, I want to call your parents, the child will be crying because they know the culture, they know what the home front is all about. So as they go out, trust them to make them informed and the correct decisions. Yeah. And if they don't make the right decisions, please allow them to learn from it. Just advise them, not just forcing your way upon these people.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And there's another thing, and Maria is still listening. Tico, you want to chime into what this gentleman has said?
Well, I just agree with
Musa
and
Edwin is saying. I have to get you some people you would disagree with. She said the Nigerian parents pray a lot that God protect us, but they don't believe God protect their children. They don't let them out of the house. Bankole, I'll let you go first. Is she right to say we are holding on to our children too much?
Well, as a father, I think she's spot on. She's spot on because it's if you've had a daughter and this is a child you carried for the first time when she was one little tender, child, a lot more than your palm, and all of a sudden she's grown and everything. It's not easy to let go. Even us as adults, till my mom died, she was always hovering around. I mean, the first call I got every morning was my mom. So it's not as much as we want to let go. But when you think about everything going on around, you always just want to pop in and like, how are you doing? What's happening and all that? What's popping and all that?
Yeah.
It's all in the confidence that, okay, yeah, you've done enough at home while they were growing up to make them stand on their 2 feet. You understand? Right. And you've done enough for them to be the best they can be. Even if you're not there, you prepared them for even when you won't be there. But it doesn't change the fact that they still would always be your kids' child. Trust me. I don't know about that guys, but man.
Wait. Let me bring Osas. If this was Nigeria, the way we were grown up, some of us didn't have any love. Especially, I speak for myself, but some of us, if this was Nigeria, is it the British government forcing us to hold on to our children too much? Because this wasn't what we were used to growing up. Osas, are you there?
I'm with you.
Or is it...
Different times, Liz. When we were growing up in Benin, it was safe. We didn't have issues with kidnapping, knife crimes.
But we don't have those issues. We don't have those issues here in diaspora. But carry on.
But if you live in London, we have a lot of issues with knife crimes in London, and also I think it's part of our makeup as Africans. We tend to see our children as kids forever. They will always be kids to us. That's why if you're talking to somebody, even as an adult, I'm well over 40, very close to 50 now. And when you are talking to certain people in your family, they still expect you to, they still see you as that boy that they carry. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's the way they still look at you like, Sas.
Yes.
I'm almost, maybe I'll be a grandfather in the next 2 or 3 years, but they still see me as that young boy growing up. So it's our makeup. Maybe they will change, like I keep saying, they will be the ones that will change everything because they're growing up in a different society, different system altogether, but I'm not sure they can change us.
No, not right now. Bankole, I don't know, is this what's happening? Are we still children? And so, if you know anybody in your family, are they respecting you? Even now with your white hair, or they still look at you as Bankole, the small boy they carry?
No, I'm above 50. I'm 50. I'll be 51 this year. And there are some of my aunties who still insist, I carried you as a baby, I changed your diaper, and I do it.